Alrighty, I'm back on the PCT after a year off because of fires last year. So starting here at Stevens Pass and heading to Rainy Pass. It's a nice trail here. Once again, James is the hero who got me to the trailhead along with Brandy the dog, and he'll be joining me up to, well, as far as Lake Valhalla, which is whatever it is, 5-6 miles away. So yeah, should be great. My pack is the heaviest it's ever been on my PCT adventure at 28 pounds, but half of that is food and water. So when I'm done, it should be around 14 or 15 pounds, which will be nice. So yeah, it's a beautiful day. Temperatures will get warmer each day, I think, but it should be a good hike, and there's no fires anywhere nearby. So hopefully that'll stay true as we go. Anyway, well, 4 miles into the hike, and it's super buggy, hence my bug net. I got my bandana for the sweat, and we've stopped to put on some bug juice and bug nets and have some water. Back, super gross. This is terrible bugs. Anyway, we're gonna keep on going another 2 miles to Lake Valhalla, and hopefully we get less bugs eventually. We'll see. It's a beautiful day, high clouds and blue sky, so very comfortable hiking. So north of Lake Valhalla is great. It's really nice tread, and hey, it's about 9:30 on the 12th of July 2025, and James and I have parted company at Lake Valhalla, which is down there, and I'm heading up the trail in that direction. The bugs are pretty bad, but here above the lake there's a little breeze, and so there are actually no bugs at this very moment, which is very nice. I do like the fashion statement I'm making here. Seen a couple of southbound through hikers and a day hiker and 2 trail runners. So a little busy out here this morning, but I'm gonna keep on going. I'm averaging 2 miles an hour, which is what I hope for. And so yeah, life is good. Hey, the trail here north of Lake Valhalla is really nice. There's no more bugs, so I can have my head out. And the tread is good, and it's a little bit downhill. So yeah, really nice. Not lonely, there's plenty of people out here, but that's beautiful, and the birds are chirping, and some gorgeous scenery. It's 10:15, and I've crossed the junction with the other way into Lake Valhalla, which means I'm now on trails I've never been on before, as far as I know, for the rest of this trip, actually all the way to Canada, as far as I know. So that's pretty exciting to have new trails. There were tons of people day hiking into Valhalla. It's nice to chat every once in a while. And now I'll just keep on keeping on. I think I'll probably see a lot fewer people as we go. Right, it's 11:50. I stopped at 11:15 and got water at a nice stream just before Janus Lake. And a speedy guy caught up with me there. He's just going out and back as far as he can today, which is a fun idea. And then I ran into 3 folks from the Washington Conservation Corps who were doing brush clearing work, which is great. So part of the trail's gotten the brush knocked down, which is really nice. And then way before that, I ran into 3 guys who are heading to Stehekin. They're all retired and definitely taking more leisurely pace. One of them had a classic, Kelty frame pack, and he's like, "Yeah, I just can't, can't do the sweaty thing." I'm like, "Yeah, I totally get that." But yeah, and so the frame pack and the Ensolite pad was just like, yeah, vintage stuff. So kind of fun talking to them. 2 of them were retired teachers. So now I'm on some uphill slog through the forest. It's very foresty. I'm going that way, and I'll just keep on keeping on. Probably have lunch around 1, I would say. I've gone over half of the distance for today, so that feels pretty good. And it's almost 12 o'clock now. Well, I'm still making my way up Grizzly Peak, probably a couple hundred more feet of elevation, but the scenery here is amazing. Might be hard to tell, but that's Rainier right there, and I assume that's like Mount Index. Just really beautiful and a little less buggy, which is great. So here's our first look at Glacier Peak up there. Some clouds on it. Definitely, you know, came over a saddle back here a few minutes ago, and the mountains, you know, it's like you get a whole new range. Let's see if we can zoom in here. There it is. Alrighty, I stopped for lunch about a mile from the top of Grizzly Peak. It's about 1:30 when I stopped. It's about 1:45 now. It's really buggy here. There was a little bit of a breeze when I first stopped, but it doesn't really last. There's peekaboo views that way toward Glacier Peak, which is nice. So now I had a tortilla, 5 pieces of salami, a piece of cheese, a handful of pub mix, a Rice Krispie treat, and some of my electrolyte mix and some water. So my pack should be this much lighter now, which is super exciting. Unfortunately, I've lost about a pint of blood. These mosquitoes are, well, no, it's not been that bad, but it's, I mean, they're really interested in me. So anyway, it's not hard to get a little relaxation. I want to take my shoes off, but then I was like, no, I don't. Then I'll have bug bites all over my feet. So that's too bad. I should have brought bug nets for my feet. I could have done that. But whatever, we'll see. It's been actually pretty good after Lake Valhalla. It wasn't that bad, just stopping. I get a little bit swarmed sometimes, but most of the hiking is going fine. Man, anyway, hopefully it won't be so bad. I got about 5 miles to go to Pear Lake, which, don't mind my hand, I'm just whacking bugs. About 5 miles to go to Pear Lake, which is my stop for the night. All right, I reached the top of Grizzly Peak. It has these interesting little furrows. That's not the trail. Fantastic views over there, looking back down south toward Rainier and Alpine Lakes Wilderness. And then up to the north, which is over that hill there, Glacier Peak is out there and all the mountains around it. So it's just gorgeous. Tons of flowers, fewer bugs, plenty of sun. Some mountain is straight ahead there. I don't know if that could be Baker, maybe? I don't know. It's a little hiding, a little tucked away in the clouds, so it's hard to tell which one it is. But whew, big climb. This is 5,500 feet, which is the high point for the day. Oh my God, look at this. Oh, Glacier Peak, so big. High point for the day, and then heading down to Pear Lake. There's a campsite right there in the woods, but there's no water up here and no snow. Okay, so this is Pear Lake. I got here about 4:35. Looks nice and deep out there. And set up my tent, and now it's time to get some water. Then I'm gonna duck inside and rest and organize and take notes. This is a little bit hard to believe. There's actually more mosquitoes here than there were in Spectacle Valley earlier this week, and there are so many. I can't even count. 30, 40, all just buzzing around this tent right now. It's almost 7 o'clock, so I'm like, at some point they've got to go away and I can make dinner, but that might not be till like 9. This is stupid. So many mosquitoes. Alrighty, I'm here at Pear Lake. I've been in the tent now for almost 2 hours. It's super buggy. So I got water, I got food, I got everything in here. I mean, I could cook through the door eventually. Not particularly motivated to do that. It was a hard day, 18 miles. The first 9 or so were fine, 12 maybe. And then my right knee started really hurting when I had about 4 miles to go. I don't know why. It just like stiff and not wanting to move too well. So I don't know, I'll do some stretching and some massaging of the knee and leg and see what happens. Hopefully it'll be no big deal and I can keep on keeping on tomorrow. We'll see. I have about 19 miles tomorrow, so that's similar to today, and the odds are pretty good. I would get up and be on the trail before 7 so plenty of time. And tomorrow has the highest point on this section, which is Red Pass. So we'll see how I'm feeling. I don't know. So it doesn't feel great to have a knee that's hurting so badly. This is my good knee. It never has problems. So who knows what's going on? We'll see. So here's what I did with my dinners for this trip. This is an original Mountain House beef stroganoff, and this is a totally repackaged Mountain House beef stroganoff. So just a small Ziploc bag, the moisture absorbing packets removed. I still have the, I have the directions on the back of this bag, but for like the other things like the fettuccine alfredo, I have the directions right there, just in case I couldn't remember how much water and how much time. So this lets me bring, a total of 4 dinners. I have a 5th dinner somewhere around here. Here, it's in a box. There. So those 4 dinners, take up only a little bit more space than the one original packaging dinner. So I'm not worried about them getting, moisture in them because they're sealed up and I'm going to eat them in the near future. But I did this last year preparing for this trip, which couldn't do because of the fires, and almost a year later, meals that were still in these bags were just fine to use. And the deal is I will use that tonight, and then I will rinse it out and be able to reuse this package for the next 4 dinners. Okay, it's just after 6 in the morning. I got out of camp at 5:45. It's warm already. I had my puffy coat on for the bugs, but it was too warm, so I took it off. And then had breakfast, my usual breakfast, and got cleaned up. Bugs were bad all night. It was like 9:30. There were still tons of them. So I went ahead and just didn't have dinner. Every time I opened the tent door, about 10 bugs would come in, and then I would spend the next 5 minutes trying to kill them all, which was not relaxing. So no dinner, but that's fine. I think I ate plenty of food and breakfast today, and I have snacks set aside and ready to go. So should be a good day. Beautiful views already of Glacier Peak. Let's see here. Over there. My right knee feels better. Wouldn't say all the way great, but better definitely. So we'll see how today goes. Just keep on cruising on. Alrighty, it's just after 6 in the morning. I got up at 5 and broke camp at 5:45 on the trail. Here's our first look at Glacier Peak for the day. Yeah. Now that's a big blowdown. Not sure how we're going around that. I think it might be a little bit of a social trail down that way. Wow. All right, that's a big blowdown. And then here's another big blowdown. It's 7:07, and I'm hiking through just tons and tons of blueberries. And there's a great view of Mount Rainier over there. Yeah, best view I've seen so far. So way up high here at 5,300 feet, and the bushes are all dewy, so my legs are getting a little wet. But it's honestly kind of nice to have the moisture to cool me off. So yeah, it's a beautiful morning in a month. This place is going to be just packed with berries, but it's too early in the season for that now. But really, just a lovely high spot here. It remains beautiful out here this morning. Going through a big meadowy area on a hillside. And the bushes are all really dewy, but the flowers are amazing. A little overgrown, so my pants are soaked. Shoes are a little wet, but that's okay. Alrighty, so I'm a mile and a half south of Lake Salian. The scenery here is just amazing. You can even see all the way down south to Rainier, back where the trail goes over there. It's hard to make good progress because I keep stopping to admire this stuff. Well, I've arrived at Lake Salian. It's 11:45, and I think this is gonna be the most scenic spot of the day. So I'm gonna actually have lunch here, which is pretty early for me, but you know, I'll enjoy it. It's not too buggy. There's 4 women who were just here, heading out that way, heading from Mexico, and they say that the bugs, you know, are not so bad going north. However, there's apparently a really bad section of switchbacks with blowdowns, lots of blowdowns, and they said that 2 people got airlifted out of there yesterday, getting injured in the blowdowns. So that'll be tomorrow for me, so I'll have to be really careful going through there, unless a trail crew comes through and clears everything out. So anyway, it's gonna be great. Here's the view of the lake. And I'm looking forward to having some lunch with my special bug friends who are here. I had a nice stop at Lake Salian. Had lunch and soaked my feet in the lake for a while, which felt good. Got my socks and shoes dried out. My toes were pretty pruny, so good timing for a stop. It's about 11 miles from camp, and I have about 8 more miles to go today, and it is 12:40 almost. So hopefully I'll get to camp around 5 again, might be a little bit later. You'll notice I put on sunglasses. It finally occurred to me that I'm doing a lot of squinting, and it is pretty sunny out here. So yeah, just gonna keep on keeping on. Camp tonight is higher elevation than where I am right now, so a little bit of down and a little bit of up. And there were 2 more guys who stopped at the lake while I was there who said that campsite's pretty good, and there's a stream there, so I don't need to worry about packing in a bunch of water. So yeah, that'll be great. Well, that's the best view of Glacier Peak yet. No clouds at all. This is very close to Lake Salian still. Wow. This is a little less than 6 miles to White Pass. Sure is pretty. Got Rainier again. Just pulled up by this stream, and there's just tons of butterflies here. Alrighty, I'm in camp for the night. It's now 6:12, got here about 5. Did some laundry, got a tent set up. It's very windy up here. I'm on the ridge above where the actual campsites are for White Pass, but I went down there to get water, and it was hot and super buggy. There's some bugs here, but it was really buggy down there. So I'm gonna, now that I've cleaned up, I'm gonna, what am I gonna do? Get the tent set up the rest of the way, sleeping bag and everything, and then make some dinner. So I believe that is the White Chuck Glacier, or the one right next to it, which means just that way is the rest of Glacier Peak. It's pretty neat. There's also all these lenticular clouds that are just sailing across the sky. Alrighty, I'm in the tent for the night. It's 8:55. I just took my notes down for what my hike was today and looked over the map and stuff for tomorrow. My goal is to go to Mica Lake, which is about 19 miles away. Again, big climb to start the day up to the top of Red Pass, which is the highest point on this section of the PCT, which will be fun. And I think the scenery will be spectacular. It's still a little breezy up here on the ridge, but not as much as it was when I got here. The bugs exist, but are not like last night. So dinner was great. Had the beef stroganoff. I did the thing where I rinsed out the Mountain House package, and I can just use it again for future meals, and that worked really well. It's very clean. Had some nice little treats for dessert. Set aside my stuff for tomorrow morning for food and snacks and stuff, and looking forward to a good night's sleep. It's pretty warm. I'm just wearing shorts and I feel pretty great. Yeah, legs and feet and everything feel really good. So good day, and hopefully it'll be a good night. Heading up Red Pass. Pika, or no, marmot. There's also a grouse. Let me see if I can get this in there. See, I didn't know there's grouse so high up. There's one near my campsite making that noise for hours. Ooh, it's a little breezy. I know the sound really bad here. Okay, so this is the top of Red Pass. That's where I came from. Did the whole hike up, not in sun, which was great. It'd be really rough in the afternoon heat. And this is where I'm going. There's someone coming up the trail. It's an amazing basin. Sun's trying to get through some clouds, trying to get the mountains out. Beautiful day. Tons of marmots and birds. I left camp, top of Red Pass. I left camp at 6:15, got up at 5:15. Really didn't want to get up. I was kind of comfy, and it was a little bit cool outside. So, and then the bugs started showing up, you know, at like 6. So I was kind of motivated to get on the road. But yeah, it's super nice out here. I talked to a couple hikers heading southbound, one through hiker and one guy who's just gonna do this section now is bailing out because of how bad the trail is up ahead. So yeah, so we'll see. I'm gonna keep on going on. Alrighty, this is the White Chuck River. It's pretty loud, right? It's amazing. Nice bridge here to walk across. And this is around 4,000 feet. I started the day around 6,000 feet, or went up to 6,000 feet. So big, long descent, 2,000 feet down. But it's so weird to go from the alpine meadows with the marmots and the huge views of the peaks to the woodsy forest with the moss and the brush and a couple mosquitoes. It's a really different setting in just a couple hours. It's 10:30 and we've got about 10 miles to go to Mica Lake. We're really down here in low elevation. Lots of bushes and creeks and stuff, and a lot of blowdowns. Everyone keeps warning me about the worst blowdowns up ahead, so Not looking forward to it, but we'll see how it goes. Look at this cool tree here. This is Kennedy Creek, and that is a super sketchy crossing that I did. But it was fine. My feet got a little bit wet because there's water washing over that log. But I figured it was better than that one. So, yeah, super silty, big, huge cliffs here, scoured out. I assume that's all volcanic ash. And then let's see if I can find the trail from here. I think it goes off that way somewhere. Just had my lunch break. It's 12:05 now, and yeah, about 8 miles to go to camp. Alrighty, I just had to cross a creek down there with shoes off, which was nice and cooling, and got a little bit of water. And now I got to hike 1,000 feet up in 1.7 miles, which will be no fun. It's a little after 4, so up that climb and then down to Micah Lake. Hopefully I'll get there by 6. That's the plan. Another long day. A lot of blowdowns to get through, a lot of overgrown trail. But, you know, pretty good scenery. It's been cloudy most of the day, which is different. Nice for going uphill. Well, apparently there's a trail under there somewhere. So I'm just following a social bushwhack around, and we'll see. God. Well, there are the North Cascades. Whew, what a climb. Wow. I see trail down there. All right, time for the nightly report from the tent. I'm at Micah Lake. I got here just before 6 o'clock. It was super windy, like hard to put the tent up, like just whipping around everywhere. And I'm in this spot with a sort of a circle of rocks around it, which doesn't quite fit the tent. And I sort of rigged things up, and I got some ropes strung out and rocks holding things down. It's not pretty, but I just had to get inside the tent and hope it held together. Had a little snack. The trail is rough, and I'm not really having that much fun. I like the scenery, and that's great and all, and there's just like almost no sections that are real cruisy. It's either uphill or it's downhill and watching your step every which way, or there's massive blowdowns or eroded trail or overgrown trail, or all three at the same time. So it's slow going. I was on the trail for almost 12 hours today and managed to do 19 miles, and I would hope to do 24 in that time. And my schedule calls for doing 24 miles a day each of the next 3 days. I just don't see how that's going to happen. So I'm thinking about different options. I could, take 2.5 days to get to Stehekin and then just head down the lake to Chelan and bail out that way. Or I could do most of tomorrow, which is 20 miles to the Seattle River, and then there's actually a trail out that way that's 7.5, 8 miles out to a Forest Service road. So I have 2 different bailout options. The problem is that everyone heading south has told me just how terrible the next section is, like tomorrow, and like dangerous. So either way, I have to go through it. So I'm going to do that and see how I feel. If I feel better, then I'll keep going. But right now I don't really want to. I mean, I'm just not really having that much fun. It didn't help that today was pretty cloudy. There wasn't much scenery to see. Actually, it just rained a little bit while I was in the tent. So if it can dry out, I mean, I can't I can't bathe in the lake or anything. Hey, look at that, a message coming through. I can't, get cleaned up. So I just feel gross. I just want to go to sleep, but it's only whatever 7 o'clock. So I think if it's done raining and done being windy, I'll emerge and I'll make some dinner, and that will hopefully make me feel a little bit better and try to get washed up. So then I'll maybe feel more human. So a couple hours until bedtime to do all that. In the meantime, I'm just gonna continue chilling out here in the tent. Alrighty, I may have gathered some perspective. It is a little buggy because the wind has died down, but I got myself my dinner, which is not beef stroganoff, it's chicken fried rice with actual chicken in it. So I'm looking forward to eating this. I think I'll be very full afterwards. I snacked a bunch, but I've gotten the important stuff cleaned up. Everything's working well. All systems are good. I got water ready to go. So yeah, I'm gonna have dinner, put camp to bed, and crawl inside the tent. The clouds are gone, or mostly gone. There's actually sunshine shining on the hills over there. It's very nice. And if the wind would ever stop on the lake really is an amazing blue color. So hopefully I can get a picture of that sometime soon. We'll see. Anyway, hope dinner's good. So Micah Lake is definitely beautiful. Incredible blue water. Probably not going to show up on camera too well, but it's super pretty. And, you know, waterfalls running down into it. Whatever these bugs are that are all around my head, they're not mosquitoes, or at least they're not interested in biting. So they're just mildly annoying. I don't know, midges or something. I don't need the bug net for them, but whatever. Anyway, this is a beautiful evening. It's 8:30, and I'm not inclined to go inside the tent for the first time on this trip, which is nice. And I think I'll just sit here by the lake, which is right there. Yeah, for like another half hour or so, and then head into the tent, which is right there. Hey, good morning. This is day 4 on the trail. I left camp just before 6:10, like 6:08. Almost immediately ran into a southbound hiker who had camped down here in the valley below. I was the only one at Micah Lake all night, which was a bit of a surprise. It was beautiful. The weather improved. It was a little dewy overnight. Sun's coming up. It's so nice. These are the mountains I'm hiking towards. Very pretty. So today is 4 miles down to start the day, and then 6 miles up, and then 10 miles down. So not a lot of variation. We'll see how it goes. High point will be a little over 6,000 feet, I believe. So there'll be some work involved in that. And I understand that's the part of the trail that's really rough. So we'll see how it goes. And then down to the Suyatl River. Definitely feeling better this morning. I think sleep and food always help. I didn't make my usual breakfast this morning, just had a little nibble of Cliff Bar and some water. So we'll see how that works. I just didn't feel like having a whole bunch of stuff in my stomach to start the day. So yeah, I'll eat as I go and hope it's a great day. Amazing views of Glacier Peak today. I've been on the trail for 4.5 hours. Went way down to the Milk River and then way up. This section everyone said was horrible, and it was really overgrown and brushy, but wasn't that bad. Very dewy, so I'm pretty damp. But I'll stop here eventually, get to a high point and dry out and have some more food. Beautiful weather. Another beautiful day. Got Mount Baker over there. Who knows? North Cascades stuff. Flowers everywhere. I stopped for a long break about half hour ago. Got my tent dried out. Tried drying out my socks and shoes. Had some snacks. Got some water. And then started going again and promptly had to cross a whole bunch of streams. So my right foot is wet again. So yeah, I'm approaching the high point for the day, I believe. And then it should be all downhill. It's just amazing scenery. I keep stopping to take pictures. All right, folks, this is clean hair, but it is a mess. So ignore the hair. Nightly update. So I'm staying in a campsite where there's 3 other guys camped, so I'm not doing this from my tent. I'm also awake and outside after 8 o'clock, which means I'm feeling pretty good. I did 22.5 miles today, across the Seattle River, and camping on the other side of it. Tomorrow, looking at 24.5 miles to get to 5-mile camp. Today took just about 12 hours. 12 hours to go 22.5 miles, so that's not bad. I think it's a better pace than I had been doing the previous 3 days. Started out up high, went down low, had a big, huge climb up, went through that brushy section that everyone was, telling terrible stories about, and it was all right. I mean, it was overgrown. It was a drag. It was very wet going down through the dew, but it was fine. And then a lot of blowdowns, which are kind of a pain. And then the section actually along the Seattle River is great because it's a relatively new trail, so it's in really good shape, no blowdowns, nice wide soft tread. So it was easy to do like the last 5-6 miles really quickly. So yeah, feeling pretty good. Had a good dinner. Nice chat with 2 guys, one from Germany who's got a hurt foot, not doing too many miles, another guy from California who's a Marine veteran, and they're hiking together right now, doing like 14-15 miles a day, taking it slow. So nice talking with them. And there's another guy in camp. I never saw him. He never came out of his shelter. He might be a guy I've heard about who's already done the AT and is zipping north real fast. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. It is really warm down here. I washed all my clothes, so they're nice and clean. This was totally clean. Just felt really good to put it on. So yeah, I washed my whole self too, so I'm clean, clothes are clean. I think they'll be nice and dry in the morning, and it should be a good day. A little concerned about the heat, but there's also lots of water on the trail. So yeah, all good things. It's morning time. I got hiking at 5:45 this morning. There's my first blowdown to get over. What a bummer. But it was really warm all night. Okay, that was get over this first. Large jump. Anyway, it was warm all night. I just slept in shorts and found that to be almost too much. Going to sleep with no sleeping bag at all. I put a shirt on the air mattress to make it a little less sticky. Around 9:30 it started cooling down a little bit, so I was in my sleeping bag this morning, but really pretty warm and cozy. So just hiking here up the Seattle River to get back to the original PCT. Got 24.5 miles to go today, so an early start necessary. Wow. Getting way up out of the trees finally. Okay, it's about 10:15 in the morning. I'm cruising down Swaddle Pass, I say. It's the exact moment the trail goes uphill again. Anyway, going up the pass was pretty straightforward. It was a really nice grade, maybe 500 feet per mile, and pretty good tread, just a few blowdowns early on. The pass itself didn't really open up and show off a bunch of scenery. No fields of flowers. So just kind of up and over, and now I think I'm mostly going downhill for the rest of the day. So feeling good about that, since I need to put in 24.5 miles. But yeah, this pass has been good. I've seen a variety of southbound hikers on Eagle Scout, North Cascades hiking guide. Alaska Dan and I keep tortoise and herring or leapfrogging So yeah, it's been good. A little bit social, beautiful weather, not too many bugs. Yeah, for all the passes I've been over so far, this was the easiest going over. Well, it's a burn section. It's hot, dusty, a lot of blowdowns, but I have crossed the river. 8 miles to go to camp tonight. Well, it's time for a lunch break. I stopped at 12:15, so I'd been hiking for 6.5 hours. Went 13.5 miles, so that's the first day where I've managed to do, 2 miles an hour, because the trail's been in pretty good shape. Just, some blowdown, some brush, but not like the last 3 days. Beautiful area here, just lots of flowers and mountains. And it's funny, eating a tortilla with salami and cheese just felt like a gut bomb. I was like, oh, that's so much food. So yeah, it's just a different kind of stomach when you're hiking. I have 11 more miles to go to get to camp. It's mostly downhill, so hopefully not too many blowdowns, and I can just kind of cruise on through. It's hard not to stay here in this meadow for a long time. I mean, it's a rocky meadow, but it's so pretty. There's waterfalls everywhere, and flowers, and birds chirping, and bees buzzing. Super nice, beautiful day. I might say this is actually maybe the best day so far. So yeah, I'll take it. All right, it's just before 6 o'clock, and I've arrived at where I'm going to camp tonight, which is that spot right there. There's a little bit of shade. It's really hot. It's like being at Mo Ridge, but without cold drinks available. There's a little bit of a breeze just came up, which is nice. I carried 3 liters of water from the last stream because there's no water here. And part of me is thinking, well, maybe that's a big mistake. Maybe there's another campsite a little bit farther on, but I'm cooked. 24.5 miles in 12 hours today. And I'll do the same thing tomorrow. So, good times. Hey, good morning. So this is day 6 on the trail. I started moving at 5:32. So getting an earlier start. It's gonna be warm today. I can already tell. I'm already warm. I just stopped to get some water, and in a few miles I'll be at the national park boundary, and then get to the Stehekin River Road, and after that it's just one long steady climb to Rainy Pass. That'll be most of my day, just going mostly uphill. Hopefully I'll be off the trail by 6. I got surplus food I want to try to give away if I can. And otherwise, looking forward to seeing the scenery that today has to offer. Right, very exciting to get to this milestone. I got less than 20 miles to go today. It'll all be in the national park. Just gotta get through the maze of roads and trails up ahead. This creek has been next to me since way back in yesterday, but very few places to access it. Steep walls. It's already nice and warm today. 2008. Oh yeah, there's a road. Haven't seen one of those in 6 days. Little cabin back there. So wow. The trail follows the road, or is on the road. Following the footprints here. Here's the world's biggest PCT trail sign, which is good because it's not very obvious where to go, but luckily the map back there had a fine detail, including these cabins here. So yeah, on we go. It is 7:10. Just got to this amazing view down, and right on cue, a hawk cries. It's like, yes, welcome to the West. It's super hot. My plan is to stop in about a half hour and have some lunch. I think there's gonna be some water up ahead. That'd be a nice place to take a break. Yeah, hot, dusty, rocky trail with the sound of a river the whole time to make you sad. And this is how the national park does it. All the brush knocked down. Nice trail to hike on. This is really pleasant. And definitely quicker than any section of trail in the last 5 days. So I guess this must be a national park. It's the first real wildlife I've seen on this trip besides birds and marmots. So this is the area of the Bridge Creek campground. It's got a ranger tent set up in there, a horse corral, a blowdown, outrageous. So yeah, nice big road section here. Well, this last part goes along the road for a pretty long time. The sound of cars makes you want to get to the trailhead, but it's like another 1.5 miles. Whew, tired. Well, we've left the national park. It's like 20 feet out of the national park, and it's just mud and rocks and overgrown path. Boo.